My name's Bob Safian. I'm the editor of Fast Company. Fast Company is sort of the host for this track of content today on the future of media. I mentioned earlier today that I did some exhaustive research yesterday at the Carlton Terrace about the future of media.
I'm going to talk about the last 7 years that Mashable's been in this space and really talk about what happened, what allowed Mashable to go from a startup in a bedroom to a 75-person media company. Talk a little bit about the model and how Mashable works today, and then really get into the meat of today's discussion, which is going to be the key trends that we're looking at in media and marketing, and then setting the table for what this day in the future looks like. So what this is ultimately leading to, I think, is the need for multi-platform campaigns. So campaigns that don't just live on the web, that don't just live in mobile, but are connected across all of these platforms that are starting to emerge. And by way of example, I'll go back to the campaign that we're doing right now with Microsoft and Internet Explorer. So IE comes to Mashable. They want to create a content-based campaign. Clearly coming up with an idea and publishing it to the web is something that we've been successful at, that we've done for the last 7 years. But what's becoming increasingly important is also thinking about how it plays on mobile. So that's something we're building into everything that we do. And also how we integrate social across it, because we want to make sure that, at a minimum, we are working on optimizing our own distribution channels, but also partnering with the brand to optimize distribution, but then also encouraging discussions. So for instance, when you're watching an episode of Behind the Launch, regardless of what platform it's on, you're going to see embedded advertising, things like join the conversation by tweeting #BehindTheLaunch. That way, no matter where our content travels, the brand's messaging is still a part of it. And that's going to become increasingly important as you look at the other two places our content's going to live now and in the future. I'm glad we're going to hear from Xbox later today, because certainly connected devices and this ability to consume video on platforms like Xbox and Roku and internet-connected TVs is going to have a major impact. First off, when people wake up in the morning, they're going to be waking up at the optimal time. They're going to be wearing a device like Jawbone or Nike Fuel Band that tells them when they should be waking up. They're going to have a smarter breakfast. So for instance, Fuel Band might know that I spent none of yesterday exercising and all of it eating good food in France. So it might recommend that I have granola and berries instead of pancakes and bacon for breakfast. Similarly, you're going to have an intelligent to-do list. So all these devices that are talking to each other are going to automatically be synced up and know what I have to do that day. And that creates some opportunities for marketers as well. Because if you know that I need to go buy groceries, well, maybe you're going to target an ad against that. Similarly, I think when you get dressed in the morning, things are going to be different. So versus turning on the Today Show and seeing what the weather's like, your closet's already going to know that. It's going to be connected. Further, it's going to be able to tell you whether your wardrobe has too many short-sleeve shirts, too many sweaters, too few pairs of pants, etc., because everything's connected and talking to each other. Your commute's also going to change. I already talked about internet-powered radio and the impact that's going to have, both in terms of content choice. Essentially, instead of being limited to the AM and FM stations, you're going to have the same type of choice that you currently have in terms of what sites to read online. Additionally, Wi-Fi coming to mass transit for people that commute that way is going to have a similar impact.
How do you distinguish or protect the editorial content, which is what's bringing people to your content wherever it is, and the branded content that could be competing in some ways with both the content you're presenting and your credibility?
I mean, for us, our content programs essentially start with us thinking about the series that we want to create before the brand is even in play. So we have essentially what's a menu of both text and video programming that we want to create. And when a sponsor comes along and their goals line up with a piece of content that we create, we match them.
So there's something you want to do already, and you sort of find someone who's a funder. It's like going to a VC
Right.
to get them to fund your idea.
Exactly, and I think the smart brands are starting to realize that what's going to work best for them is what's going to work best for us, the content that people are going to want to share, they're going to want to consume, and spread to their network.
Well, Mashable's certainly done a great job serving its customers, and so thank you very much for your time. We're out of time. Thanks everybody. Thanks very much. That was great. That was fun.